Well, here it is, guys, the Studio Scale Escape Pod Kit. After several months of modeling the hulls, collecting the vintage donor kits, scratch building, molding, and casting, this is the finished kit. If you're interested in seeing the full build blog, check the links in the description to visit those pages. Also linked in the text there is a full build-up tutorial featuring instruction on how to trim and assemble these pieces, create a 3-point mounting system, and expert paint and weathering tricks. Let's overview this kit now. I will walk around these parts to give you an idea of the scale and magnitude of this kit. So you've got hollow cast hulls. You've got a top cap, the main hull, and the bottom cap. These are rotocast, so they're hollow and lightweight. The trenches on the main hull are kept blank, and those are filled with the tank treads. These are thinly cast resin, very easy to heat and bend. I'll be filming a tutorial shortly on all the steps, but this is that same trench piece, just heated up and bent, and it slides right into the trench like this. Most of this kit is resin cast. However, this is a multimedia kit, so we've got some different materials going on. This detail that goes on top of the cap is a laser cut piece of styrene. These slips, and I showed these a little bit more in my previous video, are laser cut. This is also a laser cut piece of mylar. So this little piece of mylar will cover that window in that inset right here. These are a few additional pieces. I actually added these parts during my first build-up. Waterslide decals, you've got 3 different applications here. These are the mounts for the cables that go on the engines. You've got 8 pieces. These go on the engine bells, and then these are the mounts for the cables to go into at the base. And you also have, included now in the kit, is 3D printed detail pieces for the 3 attitude thrusters on the bottom of the kit. And let me show you how small these parts are. They're extremely tiny. Here's an example of some of the parts that were kept separate in this kit. This is a little piston that goes here. This could have been cast in place, but I wanted it to be a separate piece just to give a little more intimacy for this build. You have a little bit more of an experience of what it was like to build the original. This piece is also a separated part that sits in here. This loop of metal wiring is included to create the wiring cables between the engines. Here is an unprimered casting of the main hull. I'll show you where the seam line is. It's pretty hard to see. It's very easy to clean, but it starts here and it runs down this. So that's your seam line. And here is the back side of the body. One of the pieces that I added right before I was going to cast, I found a new reference shot which showed it, is this panel here has these 2 little chip pieces. Those have been added. And then back here, didn't know it until I saw these reference photos just a few days before I molded this guy. So we have chips and this little strip detail here on that panel. Here is the back, the front doors. The bottom is cast in place. Here is a raw unprimered casting of the cap. You can see that this is done hollow. So these together are pretty lightweight. And here is the pan. Again, pretty lightweight, very strong. This is cast solid. This is a pressure cast piece. And the detail on this is crazy. The hatch detail, the thruster mounts, the gun details, the etched details, and something that's really hard to see in photos is these little details here that go on this, and these strip details. There's something like 36 different parts that go on top of this. Even with all these details molded in place, there's still another 36 pieces that go on top of that to detail it. The thrusters have been separated into bottoms and tops, the heatsink inset details that go inside the middle, little chips that go in each one of these about there to detail. Whatever could be separated on this kit was separated just to keep undercuts accurate. So this entire kit is roughly 104 parts. All of the thrusters are molded with pegs, and these pegs all align into the bottom pan. So there's no pinning necessary. If you really wanted to go crazy, you could replace those pins with brass. And here's how these all slide into position, like that. The thrusters on the top cap are kept separate from the base. Here's your mount, here's this piece, and here is the cone part. And that also is pegged to fit very securely in place. I don't have these pre-drilled yet, but these will all very easily fit into position there. This particular pan of ice mount is available on Amazon.com, $29, free shipping if you have a Prime membership, and it's the ideal mount for the studio scale escape pod. And there is the full escape pod kit with instructions. I hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to learn more about this kit, check the links in the description. And I've got a build blog you can see, and I also have digital files of a lot of these parts available. Thanks for watching.